This is an introductory set of videos on how to play Legends of Eisenwald. This game is currently in early access, at least at this point, but it will be released soon. I am just going through a set of videos that will give sort of a step-by-step introduction in how to play this game. This set of videos is going in more detail, and it's going, there's more of them, but they're shorter, going through the whole game than the previous one I did, which was just 3 videos which went through the entire first chapter, but very, very quickly. So initially, let's talk about this little launcher. Now, I have just a couple options here, mainly game start. You can do window mode or not. I choose window mode. And editor is the launch a scenario editor, which is much more advanced, and we're not going to be doing that. When I started here, it should load pretty quickly. If it doesn't load quickly, then the culprit is probably your antivirus software, which you should either disable or you should add an exception. Now here, the main menu, have a few options, of course, and let's just go through these fairly quickly. By default, actually, I think when you first install the game, tutorial is turned on, and all that does is as you're playing the first campaign for the first time, you're getting these tutorial screens automatically showing up in sequence, and you don't really need that, as you can also hit F1 to get to them and see them that way. The main thing is knowing to hit F1. In terms of the difficulty settings, we have these different ones. Now let me go through these a bit, because this is kind of will affect how the game plays for you somewhat. At easy mode, this is really too easy for a couple reasons. First of all, you are have more resources, and you're kind of at an unfair advantage with regard to the enemy players. Also, the really big thing is in combat, the enemy characters don't use their actual abilities, so it's kind of like they're really having their hand tied behind their back, and it's like, why play like that? In normal, they do use their abilities. They also are a bit smarter, like you are, to attack your units that have the lowest health. I mean, that makes the most sense. You're doing the same thing to them, so they should do that to you. Now, at the higher levels of difficulty, you're at now a disadvantage in terms of your resources with the AI, so that will affect you. It's more of a longer term thing, but it will affect you. And also, they heal smarter in battle, which you do too, but that's not as much of a deal as this difficulty in terms of having less resources. There's also a thing called castle support slots. We'll talk about that later, but normal is pretty much what you want to start at. The other options are pretty obvious. If you have a fast video card, you can just max out everything. Sound, you can have music or whatever in the game. I have it off right now, so you can just hear my voice. Now, then, the next thing, of course, is you can look at the tutorial screens. These are a series of these little guides that kind of give you an idea of different aspects of the game. I'll be going through these different things in different videos. I just want to show you quickly what they are. And at any point you can get those by hitting F1. So let's go ahead and start the game with new game. Now, you have the idea of campaigns versus scenarios. These two ones are shorter scenarios that are focused more on combat, less on story, and the main campaign is actually a series of scenarios. So you have the first scenario, which is sort of this introductory one, second scenario, which is definitely longer, third scenario, so on. And in the early access release, there's just the first 3 scenarios right now of the game available. Custom is when you actually go and to your own create your own, or get your own a user-created scenario. So let's just do this. Now, the last thing I want to show you as part of this video is how to select your hero. Okay, so this is a bit of a choice. So you have your knight. Now, he is a melee unit, and he has lots of armor comparatively to the other ones, these two guys. But the big thing is he's a lot more obvious in how to play. You put him in the front, and he goes whacking about, and he doesn't die as easily, and his strategy is just overall more obvious. The Baroness is sort of the mid-level, I would say, kind of difficulty in terms of how to play the character. She is a ranged unit. She's an archer, sort of, but she can also attack closer if she needs to. And she has some armor, but not as much armor as this guy, because he's a knight after all. Finally, we have the Mystic, which for some people can be a mystical on how to play, because he's kind of sort of like a priest, kind of sort of this magic user. His way of playing is not always obvious. Sometimes you want him more in the front, sometimes you want him more in the back. He's a bit more tricky to play. So this is the guy I'm going to select, Balthasar. And so now I've started the game. And at this point, that's the end of this first video. I will go on with the next videos showing more details and actually how you play the game. Thank you for watching this.